Okay guys, what you're looking at is a brand new kit to replace the upper intake on a 3800 Series 2 V6 motor. This one is out of a 1995 Oldsmobile 98 model, or a Delta 88 car. It comes with this is the new kit, and it comes with the gasket already built into its place. You might have to take the old cap off the back of your intake and put it on there. I put the new O-ring on here. It just comes with a little piece taped over it. It says please remove before installing. So it was right here on it. You got to take that off, put your new cap on, twist it in place. The new O-ring is going to be kind of tight. I want to show you something. On the side over here, you got a brand new little clip that comes into for your hoses to come out of there. And this has got a new O-ring and everything in here. That all looks fine, well and good. This one, the O-ring, this is the old one. The O-ring has been completely flattened out. It's kind of dirty and nasty looking. But if you look, the plastic has kind of lost its tension, and one side of it is kind of real flimsy. So, you know, it may not hold as well as the new one. So use the new stuff that comes in the box. All of it. Your O-rings, you got 12 O-rings, and those are for your fuel injectors. You got the little fat ones and the not so fat ones. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. And I dropped it. But those go on your fuel injectors. So we'll stop for a moment and I'll show you how to put on the O-rings on your fuel injectors. Okay, this is your fuel injection system. This is your 6-pack. This is your wrap right here. And clipped on each one of these is a fuel injector. And what you have to do to get the O-rings off, the O-ring is right down here on the end. Just take a little screwdriver, get up under it, and usually it'll break right off. And then to get your new one in place, all you have to do is just roll it right down, right on there. And they're tight, so you're gonna have to work at it a little bit to get it on there. There you go. But that's your new one in place, and just roll it around a little bit, make sure it's kind of worked its way back out. But that's how to put your O-rings on your fuel injectors. Okay, first thing we want to do when we put this intake back in, we're going to put these 3 bolts, attach them to the throttle body. That seemed to be the easiest way to do it. So just going to put this in there, attach these, I believe it's 3 10 millimeter bolts. Get that good and snug and tight, and then we're going to tighten up the bolts that are around the intake manifold itself. Okay, we put the upper intake manifold back on. Got 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on the inside, 2 on each end. So that's a grand total of 10 bolts just to hold it down in place. We got our gasket lined up. When we put it on, which the gasket's already locked into place. So now only thing we have left to do is, now that this is down and sealed, is put our fuel injection system back together. So here's our handy dandy fuel injection system. It can only go on one way, and the only thing we have to do is really clear the wires and stuff as we get it set down into position. So that's the next step. We have to clip our gas lines back on each side. We have to clip our other little hoses on here, and got to clip on all of our electric to the fuel injections, all the electric clip-ons that go on here. So we'll do all that, and the last thing but not least is to change the oil in the vehicle, because we very well could have gotten antifreeze or water, particles, anything down into our oil when we did this. So to be as a safe precautionary measure, we always want to change the oil, and that'll be the last thing that we do. So I'm going to set this fuel injectors back down into their place. That's our next step. Okay, we got everything put back together. Our fuel injection system is now completely hooked up. All of our electric is hooked up to it. Our gas lines are hooked back up. All of our hoses, everything that we disconnected is hooked back up. All the bolts have been checked and tightly secured down. So this is pretty much the conclusion of the top part of it. Now the only thing left to do is change the oil, fill it back up with water. Remember, we probably lost some water in the process of doing this. Not much, but a little. And we want to make sure that we fill our reservoir tank full, and that our engine is circulating water like it needs to, and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll check. We'll change the oil. We will add water if we need to. Then we'll crank the motor and see how it performs. So anyway, this has been quite a fun experience doing this for the first time and putting it on YouTube. Okay guys, this is the conclusion. I'm going to crank her up and let her run for a minute.